Mr. President, the late Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe was one of the most famous celebrity in the world back in the mid-20th century, and even today she's still as famous as ever, but only few people know about her life and how she got famous. Welcome to the Citizen Network, and today we're going to discuss all about Marilyn Monroe. June 1, 1926, Marilyn Monroe was born in Los Angeles, California, and her name was originally Norma Jeane Mortenson. Her mother, Gladys Baker, then became unstable and had to give Marilyn up to foster parents. After many attempts, Gladys finally got Marilyn back in 1933. Then Gladys became mentally unstable and was forcibly removed to the State Hospital of Norwalk, and Marilyn became a ward of the state. Her mother's best friend, Grace Mckee, became her guardian. A few years later, Grace Mckee then married Ervin Silliman Goddard and sent 9-year-old Marilyn to live at the Los Angeles Orphans Home. She was then moved back and forth to a succession of foster homes. In 1937, Grace took Marilyn back to live with her and Goddard, but that didn't last long because Goddard attempted to sexually assault her on several occasions. She was then shipped from different relatives' houses and ended up landing back with the Goddards. When the Goddards relocated to Virginia, they decided to not take Marilyn with them. After several failed attempts to find someone to watch her, the Goddards asked their neighbor if her son could marry Marilyn so that she wouldn't go back to the orphanage. James Doherty finally agreed to marry her after finishing high school in June. Marilyn Monroe then got married in June 1942 when she was 16. While her husband was in the Merchant Marine, she took up a job in the radioplane munitions factory spraying airplane parts with fire retardant and inspected parachutes. During this time, David Conover snapped a photo of her and encouraged her to apply to the Blue Book modeling agency. She signed with the agency and dyed her brunette hair to golden blonde. She became one of Blue Book's most successful models. Doherty found out his wife became a model when a shipmate was admiring a photo of a sexy blonde. He then wrote Monroe several letters stating that when he got back into the States she would have to quit modeling. She saw her possibilities of a successful modeling and acting career and decided to divorce him when he returned from overseas in 1946. August 26, 1946, Ben Leon, a 20th Century Fox executive, was impressed by her screen test that he offered her a starting salary of $125 a week. Leon did not like her original name and suggested that she take the name Marilyn Monroe. Monroe's first movie role was an uncredited role as a telephone operator in The Shocking Miss Pilgrim in 1947. She won a brief role that same year in Dangerous Years and extra appearances in Green Grass of Wyoming and You Were Meant for Me. By 1947, her contract was up with 20th Century Fox and she was still looking for other jobs. While waiting, she decided to pose for adult photographs for $50. This would be the only time she got paid for her adult photographs. She was also crowned Miss California Artichoke Queen that year. After her performance in The Asphalt Jungle, Marilyn Monroe got great reviews. Her talent agent, Johnny Hyde, convinced 20th Century Fox to sign her into a 7-year contract. April 22, 1952, she made her first appearance on the cover of Life magazine where she was described as the talk of Hollywood. Stories of her childhood and upbringing were published in the magazine and it brought a sympathetic outlook of her to all of her fans. Monroe's first major role was in 1953 movie. She played a femme fatale scheming to murder her husband. She received positive reviews. Monroe got married to Joe DiMaggio in San Francisco on January 14, 1954. They traveled to Japan on a business trip and also combined it as their honeymoon as well. November 15, 1954, her and DiMaggio got a divorce after a dispute of her scene in The 7-Year Itch. She had to stand while the air from a subway grate blew her skirt up. After the quarrel, the couple returned to California and avoided the press for 2 weeks. Then they announced they were separated. June 29, 1956, Monroe and Arthur Miller married after a reporter was following them, and after trying to elude him he crashed into another car and killed the woman driver. This disturbed Monroe and she felt that if she came out about their relationship things in the press would cool off. While in the UK shooting a movie, in October 29, 1956, Marilyn Monroe met Queen Elizabeth II. January 23, 1959, Monroe won the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress Motion Picture Musical or Comedy for her performance in Some Like It Hot. May 29, 1959, she began seeing a Los Angeles psychiatrist, Dr. Ralph Greenson. She was complaining about insomnia and admitted to seeing many doctors to give her medication. Greenson believed she was at the point of addiction. Marilyn Monroe was rumored to be involved with the then-President Kennedy, but no one knows for sure if this was true. But on the 19th of May, 1962, Monroe was asked to attend John F. Kennedy's birthday, where she performed Happy Birthday along with a specially written verse. August 5, 1962, LAPD officers were called at 4:25 a.m. The autopsy reports that she had 8 mg% of chloral hydrate and 4.5 mg% of nembutal. Many theories from suicide to murder circulated about her death. All they know is her last phone call was to the president.
Politics after having had Happy Birthday sung to me. Such a sweet old man.
What do you think happened to Marilyn Monroe? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.